Welcome to the Turntable with Johnny Britt, where our guests, hosts, they take a spin and they ask me questions. This week we have my very first and very special guest, Leon. Leon, man, how you doing, brother?
Good, Johnny. How are you, man? During these unprecedented times.
I know, man.
I hope you and the family are doing great.
Oh, man. Man, we're doing just fine. You mean so much to me and my family. We go so far back, and you're my boy. What can I say?
Oh yeah, definitely each other for quite some time.
Absolutely, man. It's crazy because, man, I was thinking about this, and man, we've been knowing each other for a minute, bro. A minute.
Yeah, exactly. What the Temptations movie. So yeah, that's a good couple decades.
Couple decades, and it went by just like that. Man, I'm so glad that true friendship, it lasts a lifetime. I'm so glad that that's what I found in me and my dear friend.
No, same here, without a doubt. We've been friends. We've helped each other along the way of life.
Oh yeah.
And that's just the way it is. We'll continue to do that as we're doing it right now.
Absolutely.
But, this show is about spinning that turntable, so let's spin a little something.
Oh, there, cool. Let's do it, brother. Let's do it.
So my man Johnny Britt always got something new out. Now you got Mo Jazzin. Yeah, so it's a bit of a reunion record, right, huh?
It is, man. It's crazy how this thing came about. I went back in the day to hook up with my old label mate, Norman Brown, playing guitar. We were one of the first acts to be signed to Motown, Mo Jazzin. Norman Brown was the first act, and Impromptu was the second act. And when I wrote this song, man, it's crazy, Leon. I really wrote this song for Boney James when I first wrote it. Mm-hmm. And so I had him in mind because I've written a bunch of hit songs for him. And then I said, this song is kind of hot. This song is kind of hot. So, I kept it for myself. And I called Norman Brown. And we started talking. Actually, the song title had another name to it. And after talking to Norman, man, we just talked about how we recorded back in the day, how we were on tour back in the day, and all the experiences we had on Mo Jazz. And after that conversation, Leon, I said, I'm going to call this song Mo Jazzin. It just fit, because of the reunion with Norman and the vibe and the style. And that's how that came about, bro.
Great. Yeah. So obviously, Boney James didn't know you was writing it for him.
Well, that's kind of true. It's like I opened up for him last year.
But he's not gonna find out that you actually wrote that song for him unless he sees this podcast, huh?
Well, he's actually gonna kind of know because I told him I was gonna write him a song, right? When I opened up for him, and I actually sent it to him. I sent it to him, and it was like, man, I hope he doesn't do this song. I just hope he doesn't do this song. And he was at the end of his album, and it just worked out. And so when he hears it, he'll be like, oh yeah.
All right, cool. But everybody's happy.
Everybody's happy. Absolutely.
All right.
Mm-hmm. So it's crazy, man. This joint. I just want to tell you the story, and you know this, because you was David Ruffin in the Emmy Award-winning film The Temptations. All this stuff, and plus we've been hanging. But I'm just let the world know the story on how I met Otis. And it was crazy, man.
And that's Otis Williams of The Temptations.
Otis Williams of The Temptations, who's actually, Leon, you don't know anything about this, but I'm writing a book. Writing my life story. Publisher approached me and thought that my life story would be very interesting to the world, and I have Otis is going to forward the book for me.
Nice.
Yeah, man. When he agreed to do that, man, I literally got chills. Because I go back with you. I go back with Otis, and the way that I met Otis was I just gotten married to my wife Arlene, and we'll be married 34 years next month. And I think it's probably like first or second year of our marriage, I had a gig at this place called the Holiday Star Theater in Maryville, Indiana. And I was in like the house band, you know, playing, you know, for people to dance to and stuff. And I saw on the marquee, man, driving in, Temptations were there, you know. And so on the first break of this band, man, I ran across the resort and ran over to the backstage area. I knew where the backstage door was, where Temps were playing. And man, I knock on the door and this big security guard came out, you know, over the door. And I'm like, no, I like to speak with Otis Williams. And man, this cat, like, he shut the door in my face. Like, hey. And then, man, I looked into the auditorium. I just happened to open up the door and man, the concert was just over and no one was in there. So Leon, I went into the auditorium, I jumped on the stage and I walked backstage, like to the green room. And the first person I ran into was who?
Otis Williams.
Otis Williams. And so he's tall, I'm looking up to him and I said, hi, Mr. Williams, my name is Johnny Britt. I said, I have some songs I think you'd be interested in. And he looked at me like I was crazy. And then basically he told me, okay, come to my hotel tomorrow night at 7 o'clock. So next night, man, I came there early. Opened up the door, he opened his hotel room and he says,
no, he's probably there like 6 o'clock.
Right. 6. Yeah. So he's like,
lobby, people in the hotel security asking you okay, you need something?
Man, this is crazy, man. So, man, I played him these songs and he loved them. He loved the songs. And he asked me to produce some things, you know, for him. And then I wrote songs for Temptations. And that's how I met this cat, man. It was just perfect timing. You know, the concert just let out. You know, I went back there and it was just timing. But that's how I met Otis, man. So it's crazy that, you know, he would ask me to be their youngest ever musical director, which was a shock, you know, to me. We had a great relationship and they was hot, you know, they was all over the place. They was on Arsenio Hall show doing Super Bowls. You know, Ali was in the group, you know, Ali.
Yeah, it was.
You know, Ali. Richard Street, Melvin was there. And so, man, basically Otis asked me to write a overture for them. And if I wrote this overture, you know, it would be my gig. And I wrote this overture, man, in Chicago, and they flew me to LA. Ain't nobody never flew me nowhere like that at that time. Flew me to LA, man, had the car pick me up, man, nice hotel. Next day I go to Otis's house, man, I played him the overture, man, he's smiling. Blue comes over, that's what we call Melvin. Blue came over, man, Blue came over, he's listening to it. Blue said, it's your gig. And I was just like, to Otis, I'm like, can I call my wife? I called her, let her know I got the gig. But yeah, man, that was that journey on how I met him. Man, did you ever know Otis's daughter?
No.
Okay, well, she was fine. I mean, she was really nice, young girl. You know, Eddie. I think Eddie was probably dating her for a little bit, but she's really, really sweet. I thought maybe you know her. But yeah, Otis like a beautiful family.
Eddie dating. How's Eddie dating Otis's daughter?
Well, yeah, hey, look. I don't know. This was briefly, I would see them together, you know, backstage at, you know, gig in Vegas, whatever. I don't know how serious it was, but.
I'm just saying, but they got to be something that's off limits, man. Your friend's daughter's got to be off limits, I would think.
Yeah, I know.
Bandmate's daughter's got to be off limits.
Yeah, I know, but you know, this
unless you're the new young singer in the band.
Right, exactly. No, man, but that was real cool. But then, like, you know, after I did my joint with the Temps, you know, I had auditioned for Sade, and you know, auditioned for Sade, and I almost got that gig. It's between me and this white boy trumpet player, and he got the gig. Bottom line.
But this what, to tour with her?
Yeah, I was going to be on her tour with her.
Right. That would have been a hot tour.
It was a hot tour, but this is the way it happened was, so I didn't get this gig, and I saw Sade. I'm rolling down Sunset going home, and I saw Sade walking down the street, and I pulled my car over, you know, because the audition was like maybe the day before. And I ran up to her, she was going to the hotel, and she saw me, Johnny, man, and she gave me this hug, Leon. I have that.
So wait, so you knew it? So you knew her?
I knew her from the audition.
Oh, okay.
Because I went in and auditioned. They really liked me. They really liked me, and she told me, you know, after she gave me such, she said, Johnny, was a tough decision, but you know, the other cat was taller, and the other cat was white. And that's basically, you know, kind of like why I got the gig. Anyway, but she gave me 2 tickets to her show, and we were real cool. But the thing is, if I had gone out on tour with her, I would have never got signed to Motown Records with Impromptu.
So it all worked out.
Yeah, it all worked out. So that's what I'm trying to say, that after that, you know, I had auditioned like 47 rappers and hooked up with this brother, Sean. And you know, we did the Impromptu thing. Steve McKeever signed us over at Motown Mo Jazzin Records. So that's how that whole thing happened. So you know, that was cool. So
Right.
Yeah. So now I'm gonna play a track from Impromptu.
So Johnny, you know, it's funny though. People know the music all the time, and they know the movies and the television shows, but they don't know the people that actually are making the music. They don't know the people that are actually in the movie or even making the movie. They don't know about their real lives. Well, they do a little bit more now because of social media.
Yeah.
But they don't really know their process. They don't really know the person, where they come from, what's important to them in their lives. And you know, and those things are important, especially when you're following someone. You know, I think it's important for people to know a little bit more about the person behind the art. And with your album, Mo Jazzin, it's not just music for you. It's also a celebration of sorts. It's going to be a 35th anniversary of your marriage, which in our business is like 100 years. So congratulations, man. Congratulations.
Thanks.
You and the lovely wife. She truly is lovely.
Thank you.
And the amazing kids that you sprouted up to keep on that Brit legacy. and you got a song in particular that really focuses on that particular thing called Keep Working It Out. You want to talk about that?
I do want to talk about Keep Working It Out. Keep Working It Out, man. You know, it's crazy. This whole album, just like everything, man, it's just really been a blessing. You know, I think it's been a blessing, you know, meeting Otis, been a blessing meeting you. I mean, these are all like divine appointments, you know. And, you know, leading up to this Keep Working It Out, you know, I did this album called Marvin Meets Miles. And that was all divine, you know, because I'm inspired by Marvin Gaye and Miles Davis, and I put these songs together, and it, you know, that was my first, you know, step. And then after that, I did the album So Hot, which was like my first real smooth jazz record, and it hit with Hot Fun in the Summer featuring Najee. And now this album, you know, I wanted it to be like an eclectic album. It really mixes, just like you said, everything, you know, the jazz and the R&B. You know, I decided to even do like a spoken word piece on this record. This is the first time I ever did a spoken word piece. But it all has just melted into this one beautiful symphony, I would say. And all these songs, you know, hey, I've been married 34 years. And I have to write about my life, you know. I'm not running around here chasing women and stuff. I'm in with my wife for 34 years. So I'm writing about, you know, 34 years. So like this joint, Keep Working It Out, man, is a song about whatever obstacles you've gone through, my wife and I, you just keep working it out. You know, and I was really blessed to be able to call Eric Roberson to join me on this song. This song, now I'm not playing trumpet at all. I'm singing. It's a duet with Eric and I. And, he agreed to do it. He's a married man. And, Eric Roberson is Eric Roberson. He came in and just really hooked it up. And, the song is just really talking about spending time together. Long walks, long talks, going to the movies after dark, holding hands underneath the moonlight. That's just the way I felt when I wrote this song. And it's just imagining, the relationship that I have with my wife. And it's also to give, I would say, an example and I guess hope to other relationships that, that they can last. Look, you're gonna have to work it out. You're gonna have to keep working it out, you know what I'm saying? And keep working it out.
What I like to say to you is this, and I'm sure everybody watching is like, why are we talking about this? Are we spending this? Let's hear it right now.
Keep working it out. Man, we on this first album, on the first single, I think I told you that we have Norman Brown. This on Mo Jazzin, which it's kind of blowing up as we speak. So Norman did his thing, and of course, we just heard Keep Working It Out with the great Eric Roberson. That's going to be released a little bit later this summer. Then I have my friend Marion Meadows is playing soprano saxophone on one of my favorite songs. It's going to be the second jazz single. What we're doing is we're doing like jazz singles and R&B singles. So that's going to be the second jazz single, and that song is called The Way I Feel. That's Marion Meadows on sax. And then we have my son, Josh Britt. Got to include him.
Right.
Yeah.
Okay.
Berkeley School of Music. He's playing an amazing piano on a song called Is It Cool? And this song means a lot to me. One of the reasons is because George Duke played on the original. He recorded Is It Cool? The prompter. And George Duke is playing, piano on that. And then actually this song, Is It Cool? Boney James actually loved it. And he recorded on his album. He called it Deep Time. It was all instrumental. So it was such a hot song. I said, well, let me go ahead and do this on this new record. So I'm really playing, I'm playing the horn on the first part, which is, like the melody, the Boney James melodies and stuff, and then I'm going to the singing part, in which I wrote, and then my son Josh, we were in Paramount Studios out here in Hollywood with the band, and I put him on acoustic piano, man, and he was just like tinkling in the keys. That's it.
Nice. Berkeley School of Music is a really great school. I remember them giving me a tour of that place, man. It was very impressive. It was like, wow, man, if I was a kid, boy,
I know.
I definitely would like to be learning here.
Yeah, I know, that's the spot. And then we also have Paul Jackson Jr. He's featured on the record. And we have a newcomer. His name is Kashawn. He's a rapper. Actually, not a newcomer. He's been around for a long time, but I'm just putting him on this. He's a fantastic rapper from the East Coast.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, man. Yeah.
Nice.
Yeah. So, man, dude, you're a legend. What can I say? I mean, every time I'm in New York, I'm with you. You in LA, I'm with you, and I can't even go nowhere, and people stopping you and asking you for autographs, and I kind of feel like I need to be security sometimes. but you just, you're one of those kind of cats. I have to give it to you. I think a cat like you, a cat on the music side, I would say like Maxwell. I mean, you guys are just like legends, like legendary. And you've been working as an actor like for so many years. Of course, I met you with the Temptations miniseries. You've done about 5 Heartbeats. You did Cool Runnings, which actually, I was actually in that soundtrack as well. And of course, you played the legendary Little Richard, who just passed away. And again, I want to thank you for getting me on that movie as the co-music producer with Robert Townsend. And that was fantastic. But I mean...
Wait. And actor as one of my band members. What are you talking about?
That's right.
I just watched the scene the other day, man, when you was auditioning.
Was not Clifford in that? Was I think I was Clifford.
Yeah. No, yeah, exactly. Yeah. So yeah, that was fun.
Yeah, and Robert had me playing saxophone on it, which I don't play. But man,
hey man, that's why it's called acting.
That's why it's called acting, man. But it's like really, really been cool. And I would say, since Little Richard passed away, I mean, we have that. I mean, you have that as Little Richard. I mean, for life. Me being blessed to be the co-music producer on this iconic rock and roll Hall of Fame legend. That's like amazing. You know what I'm saying?
No, it is amazing. It's there's very few things that you think that when you meet a guy like Paul McCartney, who I had dinner with last week, that you think that you could say to him that would catch his attention or he'd be impressed with. And I had that when I let him know that I was the star of the Little Richard movie, because the Beatles started off as a Little Richard cover band.
Absolutely.
Yeah, I mean he's the one that took them out on tour in Europe. It's like that. So when I'd met him previously, but he hadn't known that I was the star of the Little Richard movie. And, immediately I had Paul McCartney's attention.
Of course, that's what I'm saying.
Yeah, because a legend like Little Richard is someone that, especially if you came up in music, especially in that time, like you say, he's the architect.
Oh yeah. What does he say? I'm the one and only. Little Richard, that was no joke. But man, it's crazy. I just remember when I met you, I walked into the rehearsal hall, and I was your vocal coach. I was the vocal coach of the Temptations actors. And one thing that I've noticed about you in all the years that we've been friends is that you have a fond love of music. Your heart, you're an outstanding, you're an amazing actor, but you ask me musical questions. I mean, and I'm giving you vocal lessons, and I've coached you, and I've seen you in action, and music is just, seems like it's just as much a part of you as acting, and so I guess this is a natural question, but my question was, why are you drawn to the music-based films?
It's really funny, because this question's asks me often, and I guess it's a bit deep-rooted. People ask me what's my history in acting and performing. Well, the first time I was ever on a stage was when I was in 7th grade, and that was because I saw my sister's senior class in high school do a rock and roll revival as their show. And we used to do this corny variety show at my school, because I go to a Catholic school. And so I convinced the nuns to let me do this show, in which I choreographed the numbers, and I played Jimmy Checker, my other friend played Elvis Presley, the other good-looking girls played the Andrews Sisters, and it was sold out, and we had to do it over and over again. They loved it. Yeah. So that was my experience, and my first experience on stage. And to be quite honest, the first time I ever thought that I ever wanted to act or do anything is because I had snuck into an Elvis Presley movie. And I saw this guy singing, dancing, kissing the beautiful girls, and I was like, I can do that. I can do that. So as time went on, it was always like something that became my first role that it got me like into the union was a high school basketball musical. And I was an All-American basketball player.
Yeah, I remember that.
And that's how I got the role, because the guy they had hired couldn't play. And my friend of mine called me in there because he knew I could ball. And I talked to the producers, and they were like, well, we can't take any chances. Can you shoot around a little bit? So I dreamed a couple jumpers, then I threw the ball off the board, caught it backwards, and threw it behind my head. And they gave me a contract right there. Right. They were like, sign this.
Yeah.
So it just, music thing always kind of followed me around. And then, so happens I happened to be in a music video that was probably the most talked about music video of the last century.
I know.
Which was Like a Prayer with Madonna.
I know.
It had controversy all around the world and stuff, and so it's so funny that a video that I originally turned down, didn't really want to be in, happened to be a music video, which happened to give me worldwide press.
It did, yeah.
And it wound up, and because of that, I was, Madonna's date at the MTV Awards, where Robert Townsend saw me, and then offered me the 5 Heartbeats to sing.
Mm-hmm.
And so it just seemed like music had a through line throughout my entire way into the industry. And it's always been a part. And then how I got involved with, being a musician myself and having my band, and luckily we've been very successful, especially last year, basically came out of my love of music. I started becoming a popular actor, and they could ask me to host reggae festivals and music festivals and all over. I went to Japan. I went everywhere with festivals hosting. Mm-hmm. And I just be backstage with just fantastic artists, and we'd be singing a cappella and everything else. And they would just say, "You should sing, man. You don't have to, obviously, but you love it like that. You should do it." And so that's when I, started taking songwriting very seriously, and working on my band, working and picking your brain, and having you collaborate on records with my band, and everything, and that's how that basically came about.
And like I said, you're one of us. You're one of the cats. I mean, I get with you, and you just turn the script. You write amazing lyrics. We've written songs together. We've been in the studio together. I mean, when you play with your band, The Peoples, which I absolutely love. You called me on stage. I've been to your rehearsals. I mean, you get it. I mean, you take it to heart, and that's what I really appreciate about you, on the music side. But brother, man, I just really want to thank you so much for joining me today. You're always there for me, and I have to say that, and I told my wife that. You've never said no to me. You've directed my videos. You've brought me on stage countless times, opened up for the Temptations, and just thank you, man. Words cannot explain how much I care for you and what you mean to me. So thank you so much, man, for being on the Turntable with me, my first podcast, brother. Thank you so much.
No, it's my pleasure. We're always here for each other. It's a two-way street. And I always know I can call on you when I need something, or, and you've always been there for me, musically and as a friend. And it's not easy to find in this business. So my appreciation for you is huge.
Thank you, man. Okay. Well, I'm gonna tell Otis that you said hi, because I'll be talking to him. That's your boy. And and I wanted to tell everyone to watch out for the release of my brand new album, Mo Jazzin. Will be coming out worldwide August 14th. Check it out on all your socials, everything. Leon, do you have anything to plug before we sign out?
Well, yeah, I mean, anybody can always reach me on my social media tags, which I'm very active on my Instagram, which is at 3 W's, Just Leon, JustLeon. My Twitter is at Just Leon. My website is justleon.com. And but I particularly want to draw people to my Instagram and to my Twitter today, because at the top of it is a PSA for my company, Motion Mob Films, which everyone from the president of ABC and everyone has contacted me saying how much they love the message and how it was shot. And I really wish you'd check it out. If you're a Black man and woman that's thriving in this country, something that we need to do despite whatever's happening with us, because we always will thrive. Please check out this PSA on my Instagram, and I think you'll like it.
Absolutely, man. We will. We'll make sure we tell everyone. But everyone, thanks so much for joining us today. Once again, I'd like to thank my boy Leon. And join us next time when we spin the turntable. This is Johnny Britt. Peace and love.